Hello again! In the previous videos, we mapped our venture Pratika's business model, value proposition, customer empathy, environment, and competition. But let's be honest, Pratika is still at the idea stage, and every item on those maps is really just an unproven assumption. That's why we now arrive at the most critical step: validation. In this video, we'll look at the assumption prioritization matrix, which tells us which assumption to test first. Why is validation so important? Because at the idea stage, most of the things we're sure about are really just guesses. If we test these guesses before writing a single line of code, before we even start building the product, we build on solid foundations. Spending months developing a product on top of a wrong assumption is the biggest waste of both time and money. Validation protects us from blind spots on the road, from idea to product, and from product to scale. It grounds every step in evidence. So why prioritize? Because a startup has dozens, even hundreds of assumptions, and testing them all at once is impossible. When we prioritize, we look at two things. 1. How critical is this assumption to the business model? 2. How little do we know about it? That is, how high is its uncertainty? This is exactly how FounderScope does it. It automatically places every item across all your canvases into 4 quadrants, based on criticality and uncertainty scores. So you never have to wonder where to start. The matrix tells you. At the top, you see 3 filters: desirable, feasible, and viable. These show which risk dimension an assumption belongs to. Desirable, meaning desirability. Does the customer actually want this? Feasible, meaning feasibility. Can we build it technically? Viable, meaning viability. Is this business profitable and sustainable? With these filters, you can examine, for example, only demand-related assumptions, or only the financial ones, separately. Now let's see the 4 quadrants one by one. The first and most important, urgently validate. These are assumptions that are both highly critical and highly uncertain. They determine the fate of the startup, yet they're the things we know least about. In Pratika, this quadrant holds items like dependence on AI model providers and freemium retention. We must test these immediately with the fastest and cheapest experiments: customer interviews, fake door tests, small prototypes. FounderScope Copilot steps in here and suggests customer interview questions or experiment designs directly for these assumptions. The second quadrant, monitor. These are highly critical but low uncertainty assumptions. They matter, but we already know quite a lot about them. In Pratika, items like anytime availability and the mobile application are here. We don't need to test them right away, but we mustn't lose sight of them, because if conditions change, they can quickly turn into risks. Copilot tracks changes and new signals in these items and warns you in time. The third quadrant, research. These are high uncertainty but low criticality assumptions. We're not very sure about them, but even if we're wrong, they won't sink the startup. In Pratika, secondary user gains like learner communities are here. It's not worth running expensive experiments for these. Desk research, surveys, and reviewing existing data are enough. Copilot generates quick research questions for these items, so you use your time efficiently. And the fourth quadrant, ignore. These are assumptions low in both criticality and uncertainty. For now, neither urgent nor risky. In Pratika, items like the social media channel are here. Spending energy on these right now would waste our scarce resources. But we don't forget them entirely. If conditions change and one becomes critical, the matrix automatically moves it up. This is the power of prioritization. It focuses your energy on the right place. So how do we keep this prioritization alive? Every experiment result, every new customer conversation changes an assumption score and moves the item between quadrants. This is why working in this section with FounderScope Copilot is critical. Copilot tracks which assumption has become the riskiest, which bad scenario is at the door, and which opportunity is waiting to be validated on your behalf. So the matrix becomes not a static list, but a living compass that takes your startup's pulse. The essence is this: a founder is someone who reduces the greatest uncertainty by the cheapest means. The goal isn't to be right, but to learn the truth in the shortest possible time. The more critical and uncertain an assumption is, the more valuable it is to test. Because every unvalidated assumption is an invisible crack in the foundation you're building on. This matrix is also the foundation of the comprehensive strategic roadmap and stage gate section we'll cover in the next videos. Because without knowing which assumptions to validate first, we can't determine what stage we're in or when to advance to the next. First, we prioritize the right questions, then we arrange them on the roadmap. We'll continue Pratika's journey in the next video.